well, didn't see that at the last minute. I just put my camera on to get a look at the sunrise coming. So as you can see, I'm back in my local woods. It's a glorious Sunday morning. It's getting about quarter to 8 in the morning. I'm not really sure. I haven't got a watch on us today. I'm not going to be looking at timings or anything. I'm just going to be enjoying myself. So I've come back to have a look and see how my shelter's holding up. And as you can see, there's not a single thing out of place apart from one log has fell through the gap. It looks like it's actually snapped. As I said when I made it, there were bits of rotten wood, so it's just a lean-to to sit under really. I probably will sleep under at one point. So in any way, what I'll do is, it doesn't seem to have caused any major issues because there's other bits of wood on top of it. So I'll just try and cut that out or something, or whatever. But as you can see, everything else is still in place, all these bits of dead wood and all that. On the way up, right down the bottom, about a quarter of a mile, there's loads of big felled trees, been there for years, big massive thick bits of wood. I come across that stump there, so I'm going to use that. That'll be my chopping thing for processing wood and for sitting on. As you can see, I've got a massive burger today. I've brought out my new stove and I've got a new TP tent to try out today. So I'm going to be doing 2 different videos in one day. I've got a nice bit of a meat feast to eat today. I've got a couple of lamb chops, ribeye steak, some large mushrooms, tomatoes, a couple of eggs. So be having a nice feast later on today. I'm not sure if I'm going to cook it on the stove in the tent or cook it on a grill over an open fire. Probably be an open fire, to be quite honest. I just want to set the tent up and see what it's like. But that'll be in another video in any rate. I might give you a quick glimpse of it on here, but there'll be an actual video for that. So as you can see, it's looking reasonably dry in here. So that's happy days. I'll be able to get a lot more leafage done on the shelter itself. I'll do a little bit of maintenance on that. Got a couple of plans for different things on it. Obviously summertime's coming, so we're going to get all the kids coming into the woods soon to play and that, and other idiots that come in destroying things. So I'm not really bothered. I'm just going to use it as a learning curve. If it gets trashed, it gets trashed at the end of the day. But in any rate, I think first things first, we'll get camp organised, get tied up a bit. I'll get some wood processed and then I'll see where we're off from there. Alright, happy days. Back out. Right, so as you can see, I'm going to be doing the same process I've just showed you about another 5 or 6 times. Build up all the way from the bottom, get it all built up, because there's loads of gaps at the bottom here. Get it nice and thick, and then start putting it up on the tops as well. Get a nice big massive thick layer, and obviously over the weeks that'll break down again, and then just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, so it's got a massive layer on. It'll insulate it and it'll make it more watertight than what it already is. Okay, because the ground underneath feels absolutely bone dry like. As you can see, this was all full of leaves on the thing, so obviously they've blown away and broke down with the rain and things as well. So it's just part of nature, so we just got to keep topping it up and topping it up. Be the same as my other shelter back at my main camp. Alright, but I'll do this in any way. About 5 or 6 more times. I'll not bring you along for it because it'll be boring watching the same procedure. Okay, so when I've got it all done, I'll bring you back and we'll have a look and see what it looks like. Yeah, right, see you in a bit. Right, so there we have it. That's about four loads on there so far. As you can see, it's nice and thick up at the top end as well. Down at the side here as well, just give it a little bit of insulation along here as well. That's much better. Oh, I've got some woodpecker just over there somewhere. Oh, I just heard him into the trees. That didn't sound right, did it? Yeah, plenty of leaves in here. Get more cover if need be. For happy days, like. Oh, bit of plastic on the floor there. So, put that in my bin. Sorry about the camera action, but there you go, look. Shelter all done. Happy days. Right, well, I think I've earned myself a brew, so I'll get the jet boil on, get a brew on the go, and then get some firewood, and then I think we'll see where we'll go from there. Put this rubbish in my bin. Right, so that stool, that little log I brought, actually it's the perfect size, so happy days, like, instead of sitting on the ground. It just gets you that raised up a little bit, and when you get to my age your knees start growing a bit, and it makes it easier to get up off the ground. So inside of here, this is my Pathfinder set. Now it's amazing the amount of kit you can fit in here, like. So obviously I've got all my brew kit, the lid, my collapsible cup. I've even got some herbs for my steak spice, salt and pepper, and then I've got my bottle, my pot, and then the little Pathfinder stove that comes with it. Alright, so that's the main compartment. And then on the other side, I always come out, and I've always got a rubbish bag in every bag I bring, so I've got plenty of them. And then I've got my wash kit. I think I forgot my little towel thing I normally bring, so never mind. Knife, fork and spoon, that came with the actual set. I've got my spork. I've got the fish mouth opener, which is the pot hanger for this. Then I've got a little pair of grips, just if I want to pick like pans and things up with that. I don't know why I've got a little bit of dupe cordage in there, like. Then I've got like the trangy burner thing that goes on it, a lighter, and then my little spatula for frying and that. I think it needs a good clean out this, and anyway, so that's basically the kit that I bring in here. See, we'll leave that out. Never really used the knife, fork and spoon, like. I prefer me sporks, but it's always handy to have there, isn't it? And as you can see, there's still absolutely tons of room in there. Fit a lot more stuff in that pouch there. So it's a good little kit to get. It comes with little fire lighters as well, which are absolutely fantastic. I don't know what type of chemicals he uses in them, but they're really good. It's a good kit. I love the pot, the bottle. I need to get a couple more of these, because using plastic bottles now is just no good. Obviously, you know, they're costing out. Pop bottle, once it's used, give it a good rinse out. I use these, we store a lot of water when we're in camp and things like this, you know, and then we'll take them back home, fill them up and then take them back. But we also use pond water as well, but it's nice to have fresh water. Well, that's the kettle boil. Oh, had a right nightmare with the gas. I'll just put a little bit of footage on here now, and it went on for about a couple of minutes, and it actually melted part of the cover on the cup, like. So I wasn't happy with that, like, not one little bit. But anyway, got me nice cup of tea here, nice bit of Yorkshire tea. Didn't sound Yorkshire at all, did it? And I said, Bisto there. Yeah, nice cup of tea with a couple of forest floaters in. So happy days on my nice little relaxing table. Oh. What a bloody nightmare. Anyway, cheers everybody and welcome back to the woods. Ah, lovely that. Scorchy all, but lovely. Right then, I've got this pot hanger that I had, but I just find it's just too low down. All right, so I've been having a look around and I found this. It's off the big tree that was down the bottom next to me first shelter I built up here, and I thought I could make a pot hanger with this. So basically we've got the shaft coming up the top here, and then we've got this nice bit of branch coming over. So I thought if I cut these off, and then that should be happy days. Like, I'll be and plant that into the ground. That'll be like the crane part of it that leans over the fire, and I can have something coming off the back end there, hanging off it, and then drop down over, and that'd be great. So we'll see how it goes in any rate. All right. Right, so now we've got the main part that I want, which is the long shaft to stick in the ground. Obviously I need to put a point on it, and this will be like the crane arm that will come across. Okay, and then I can swivel it over in the ground over the fire, probably come to about here, and then have something hanging off it. Or I might even leave it so it's long enough like that so it gets right out the way of the fire, and I can have it right at the back end over the yeah, and then have something coming hanging down off here with a little hook on it, and then that'd be ideal. So the next bit I want to do is a little point on the bottom. So obviously I've never brought an axe with us. I've just went and fashioned this, put it up on this log. It's another big solid log, and I've just flattened out a little area here, as you can see, just to stop the wood from sliding that I want to chop. Just using a knife. So basically what I've done is I've put a nice little, obviously it needs them bits taken off, got a nice point there, and also where I've cut it, I've got this bit here, as you can see, it's going to make a nice base to hit, so I can knock that into the ground without damaging the arm part on here. Okay, so that's ideal. Then once it's in the ground, obviously I've got this fork here, and then what I can do, just demonstrating with me saw, I think the camera may be a bit too close like, so, and then obviously once it's into the ground, so you can see it's got a nice reach on it, and then I just get a loop with a bit of wood with a hook on it, and then that'll be my pot hanger, and I'll just make it so it's an adjustable bit of cordage as well. And there you go, one quick and easy pot hanger. So next part I need is a little bit of a, like a L bit of wood, not L bit of wood, like a bit of wood that comes up like so. So you've got like a hook effect. So let's get a bit of that and then we'll get sorted. Okay then, so this bit of wood was staring us right in the face, right leant up against my shelter, so it's going to be ideal. This can be the bit that I cut to add a bit of string to, and this thinner part can be the hook part to tie the bail on. So let's move my knife to one side. I'm just going to cut off a little bit of this part at the bottom. Okay, then this part here is going to be the actual hook part, so we're just going to cut it about, say, here. Save that bit of wood to cut this fire, and then we want this to be a bit shorter, see about there. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is, just to make it look nice, I'm going to sit down and do it. I'm just going to get my knife, scrape all the bark off, and then what I need to do is I need to cut a little fine channel, all the way around, so it gives the cordage something to grab a hold of, and then that'll hang with a pot on. And then we'll fashion this off a little bit so it's a little bit nicer, and then we'll bring you back. Right then, so here we go then. There's the hook for the pot hanger all done. It's all been carved off. I've thinned off this little bit more. No, I probably need to thin it off a little bit more to fit my Pathfinder pot. I've cut a little groove along the top here, and then all I've done is put a loop and a bit of 550 paracord, then fed it through itself. That just fastens up, put on the right end there, that just fastens into there, and then with gravity that'll keep that nice and tight. And then all I've done is I've put a hangman's loose in there, and that, because I don't know how to do the slip knot, I can't remember how to do it, but I know how to do a hangman's loose. So that'll give us enough length there, and it keeps it nice and solid as well. It's not going to drop right the way down if I need to raise the pot from the flame. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, I've got the pot hanger here positioned, but I need to bang it in, and I haven't got nothing to bang it in. So what I've went and done is I've went and cut myself a nice bit of hardwood. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a bushcraft mallet. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to saw all the way through it, well, not all the way through it, sorry, the depth of the blade all the way through it, all the way around, and then all I'm going to do is get my knife, batten it down, keep the nice chunky end for hitting things with, and then thin out the handle, make it nice and smooth, and then that's going to be my bushcraft hammer. Isn't this good? I'm doing lots of little tasks today. I'm actually really enjoying myself. I'm getting hungry now though, so I'm going to get this done, then I'm going to get the fire going, then I'm going to let it burn down to coals, and then I'm going to get a couple of lamb chops on the go, and a ribeye steak, and a couple of other bits and pieces. So let's get cracking with this, and then we can think about getting a fire going. The hook is done. So we'll move the cordage. I'll just crack on, get this done, and I'll see you in a bit. Right then, as you can see, I had a slight little problem trying to get the chunks up. I mustn't have sawed through it enough, but there you go. A rough mallet. Obviously I need to take a little bit more time of making this a lot less spelky, like smooth it all off, carve it all down so it's nice and nice tight. But that's a decent size thickness of handle there, and it weighs a ton. This, like, it weighs a ton. So it's gonna bash through stuff, no bother, like. All right, so it was a bit of a nightmare that, like, but never mind, I got there in the end, didn't I? Right, so that's the mallet all done. I've took all the bark off as well. There's a couple of rough edges on the actual mallet part, but that doesn't really matter. And now what we need to do is we need to gauge where we're going to put this. So when that goes into that hole there, it's going to be hanging over the top of the fire. And then I can just turn it out the way. And I hope you can see this on here, like. But all I'm going to do is get the other side, and it's me easier. That's it. That's that in, nice and solid. It's got a good hang there, possibly a bit too low. Okay then, so that's the pot hanger all done. I've just had a nice visit off the farmer, so we've been sitting chatting for a while. And anyway, what I've done is I've put 3 little grooves on here as well, just to add a little bit of extra height. So I've got the lowest point there, and then it moves up them 3 all the way up to the top there. It just gives it a little bit extra height. I might even take this off, this long bit of string, and just put a small bit of cordage on. I definitely think they are going to be high enough, to be honest. But anyway, time to get the fire going, because I'm getting hungry. Right, so I got a nice little bit of birch bark from down the bottom earlier on. So all I'm going to do is now, I'm just going to get rid of this chunky bit off the back, so it makes it flatter. Without cutting my hands, that is. I've already stabbed myself there earlier on. Oh, got to be careful, haven't we? But anyway, let's get some scrapings done. Getting down to the dark part there, it's a bit of the resin there, so we're getting down to that part now. Oh, that's happy days. Get this side done. Actually, I think that might be enough just to get us started. A little bit more. If you think you've got enough, you haven't. Do a bit more. fall apart now. I think that's enough there. What I'll do is clean off my blade, put that away, and we'll get it all set up and we'll get ready, yeah. So put that on the fire, all the bits, and I've got all these bits here. I'm gonna cut a few little bits off. It's a little bit damp, like on the bottom side of it, but should get the fire going in anyway. So we'll get you turned round and okay then. So as you could see earlier on, I collected a load of little sticks and some dried out ferns just to help get the fire started. I've just now moved all my ashes out the way and my shavings. So what we'll do is we'll see if we can get this going. There you go, look at that, straight away. Happy days. Right, move that out of the way. Oh, now you pull it out. Let that silver birch get going. I'm going to save all the rest of it. Now we're just going to put the ferns on. Happy days. And we'll get some of the sticks on. Let's get rid of some of them sticks a second. Let's put some more of them ferns on. Let's get the fire going properly. What we'll do is get a stick, raise it underneath, lift it up a little bit, let a bit of air get into it. Get me solid brew on the go. I've got plenty of wood there, loads of little bits, loads of big bits all the way over. So that's happy days, isn't it? Right then, so for dinner today we've got 2 nice large mushrooms. I have inside this box here 2 eggs, which I'm not sure if they're still alive. We'll see. Yeah, never been smashed, so that's happy days. Let it stay in there for later. I've got 1 big large mushroom, and inside this box I've got some nice bits of tomato, and inside this bag I've got a nice big massive bit of meat, which is a ribeye steak on the bottom and 2 lamb chops on the top. So it's going to be good, and I'm hungry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grill these off and the tomatoes will go on for a little bit last minute. So I'll prep my onion, I'll cut this into dices, and I've got with me today, obviously I've got my Pathfinder pot for cooking brews and all that in, but I've got this zebra pan. It's a, can't see what size it says. I think it says it's a 17 or something, 18 or something, I'm not really sure. Obviously what you can do with these, they're great because you can turn this upside down if you've got little hand pincers like what I've got. Use the lid as a frying pan, or you can just use that pot, which is what I'm going to do. Oh, it's just the geese, something's scaring them. So anyway, I've got that there, and then I've also got this big pan. What I like about this is it's got a nice long handle on it, okay, and once you pull it down it locks into place. So I'm thinking I might either, with the 2 eggs, the mushrooms and the onions, just fry the onions off, fry the mushrooms off, slice a couple of the tomatoes up, put them in, then add whisk the 2 eggs together, obviously in here, and then pour them into the pot and make some sort of like an omelette type thing. I'm not 100% sure yet, or I might not. You know what I mean? But that's what I was thinking in any rate. The mushrooms, the onion, the 2 eggs and a couple of tomatoes fried off, eggs inside of it. The only thing I went and forgot, cooking oil. Ah, sugar. Right, that might put a jeopardy on that then. So yeah, I haven't got it. I haven't got my cooking oil. I'll have to have it. Oh, I've already emptied that bag, so I know it's not there. Oh, bollocks. Right, so in any rate, might be plan action plan B is just grill everything. I'll cut the onion in 2. I'm just wondering. Yeah, in any rate, I'll turn the camera off while I'm wondering it. Right, so I've got the mushrooms and the tomatoes on now. Let's just see how they're going. Not too bad. I think the grill might need to be a little bit closer. But as you can see, I've got some lovely bits of meat here that I'm going to put on there soon. So yeah, happy days, like happy days. Alright then, so as you can see, I've moved the onions and the tomatoes onto the hot plate down there. The water's starting to boil a little, well, starting to heat up. If it doesn't heat up, then I'm not really bothered about the eggs, to be honest. I'm starving. So the mushrooms are doing really well. They're starting to brown off nicely, but I've got a nice bit of steak spice here. So I'm just going to put some of that on the ribeye, rub it in. And then obviously it's not been on the heat that long, so, and I'm just going to turn it over, and then I'm going to put a bit more on there. Give that a nice rub in, and then just leave it to cook nice and slowly. But yeah, happy days like. Right then, now for the big test. Get the water going there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do some, I think they're called poached eggs, something like that in any rate. Let's see how them go. Oh, bit of shell in there. I don't think that's going to work, like, but we'll see. Right then, so here we go. Here's dinner for today. So we have 2 poached eggs. They haven't come out great, but I think they're going to be eatable. We've got two lamb chops, some grilled onion I'm not over keen on, some nice big mushrooms, well done, and a nice ribeye steak. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, because I think that one's a lot hot boiled, like a hot boiled egg really. This one's got a nice bit of yolk on it. So let's have a look. Oh, look at that. I'm not going to show you as eating it, but I'm going to have a taste. Oh, do you know what it is? That is really, really nice. Oh, a bit of the onion. I had a taste as it was cooking. I wasn't that keen on it. Oh. Not too bad. Okay then, let's have a taste of the mushroom. Yeah, I think I've overdone the mushrooms a bit, like at the ribeye. I'm actually leant up against on top of all my wood. I need to maybe sell a table, didn't I? I'm just going to take a half of that bit. I said I'm going to enjoy it later on when the camera's off. Now, love ribeye steak, and that's perfect for me, that. Let's just move that egg over. Actually, let's have a taste of it. It's not totally hard boiled. Look, it's still got a bit of soft centre there, so that's happy days. Grilled tomato, and I've just pipped all over the screen on my camera. Happy days with that, like a nice bit of lamb chop. Yeah, lovely. Okay, now I'm gonna shoot off and eat this and clean the screen of my camera, because it's got loads of orange pips on it, tomato pips on it. So anyway, see you in a bit. Right, well, that was a nice meal. Believe it or not, I left a tiny little bit of the lamb chop, so I've just put a bottom of a tree over the far end there with the onion. No, didn't enjoy the onion, didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't raw, it was cooked. As you can see, I've got the fire back up again running. I've got a pot of water on the go, so I can have a brew and wash all my bits and pieces. So as you can see, I brought the chopping board. I decided to eat off that rather than my plate. But yeah, happy days. As you can see, once again, I've foraged far too much firewood for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of time out. I'm going to chill out for about an hour in front of the fire. I think I'm going to put my fleecy top on and take my t-shirt off. This t-shirt is going to be used as a tea towel for my dishes until I get home, and then I can wash them again properly in any way, which I always do. Once I'm back home, I always clean all my kit and then store it away nice, clean and dry. So I'll bring you back when I'm all packed up and ready to go. Okay, so see you in an hour. Okay then, so that's it. End of play day. So all the wood that's left over is actually underneath the shelter for the next visit I come up, so that'll be nice and dry. Didn't even use that wood down there that I put there the last time. Mallet in the pan hook, pot hanger, sorry, is in there, and The fire pit's been all cleaned out. Been about 3 carrier bags, which is my zipper bag. I always use them to put the water in now, and obviously I'll take it home. It's in my pouch on my jacket. So, and anyway, fire area is nice and clean, out, no heat whatsoever. I've checked it with the palm of my hand. So that's happy days. Right, burning on my back. I just wish I was stopping for the night, but unfortunately I can't, because we're not allowed to camp out. But it's been an absolutely fantastic day, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me enjoying myself. If you have, please leave a comment and a thumbs up. Okay, it all helps the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. See you later.